Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our regular scheduled meeting, City of Griffin Board of Commissioners, January 24, 2023. We're going to open up with Commissioner Cynthia Reed Ward leading us in the pledge, followed by Commissioner Tinsley with the invocation. Please join us.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Most gracious Heavenly Father, we're here today to ask for your blessings and guidance in the performance of our duties as elected officials. We pray for strength, love, knowledge, and understanding. Help us to recognize and solve the problems that are presented. Make our solutions fair and just to the best interests of everyone. Help us to overcome our shortcomings and keep us united as a team for the betterment of the city and its people. Pray in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. The motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Mr. Brock with a motion, second by Commissioner Tinsley. All in favor, please signal by raising your hand. 5-0. Under presentations and delegations, our honoree for Mr. Kenway is out today, so we're going to postpone that. Moving into item 2, presentation by the Small Business Administration outlining disaster assistance for homeowners, renters, nonprofits, and businesses of all sizes that were affected by the severe storms and tornadoes in Griffin, Georgia on Thursday, January 12th. Ms. Terrell Perry, the Small Business Administration, as well as James Jim Accurso are here to do a presentation. Jim, welcome. We're glad to have you today.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate the opportunity to be here. Yes, we are here in town as a result of the recent presidential declaration because of the terrific tornadoes that passed through Griffin and 7 surrounding counties, communities. And I'm going to give an overview here of what we're here to offer. So as I had mentioned, Presidential Declaration 17761 was declared in the 7 green counties there on the map, and the yellow 18 contiguous counties are also eligible for our economic injury development loans. So the declaration does cover the 23 counties there on that map. Once a presidential declaration is declared, the SBA program for individual assistance is activated, and the eligibility for the loans are businesses of all sizes, including private nonprofit organizations, homeowners, and renters. So some may think that we're only the Small Business Administration and we only help small businesses, but we do in fact help homeowners and renters, as well as small nonprofits, churches, schools, and aquaculture operations. Our SBA disaster loans are the primary source of federal assistance to help private property owners recover from disaster losses, and we offer low-interest, long-term loans to help folks get back on their feet and recover. You know, we know you've been through a lot, and we want to be able to help you the best we can. We are currently offering, all of our loans now are currently deferred for 12 months with no accrued interest. So let's say we do encourage everybody to please do talk to one of our customer service reps, and they'll explain all of the parameters of the loan that's offered to them. I've got a short video here to show everybody about what we do. Get it to run. No, maybe not. Apologize for that. Oh, there we go.
Applying is 3 easy steps. Step 1. For those in a presidential declared when disaster strikes, the U.S. Small Business Administration, or SBA, is here to help you get back on your feet. Whether a business, nonprofit, homeowner, or renter, you can apply for a disaster assistance loan. Loans can be used to repair or replace uninsured or underinsured disaster losses, from property to inventory to furniture and fixtures. Some applicants may be eligible for additional funds to take steps to prevent losses should another disaster hit, such as strengthening roofs or elevating structures. Applying is 3 easy steps. Step 1. For those in a presidential declared disaster area, register with the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, to begin, and you will be referred to SBA. In non-presidential disaster declarations, you can apply directly with SBA. Step 2. Once your application is received, SBA conducts a credit check, discusses your eligible losses, and determines your repayment ability. Step 3. If approved, you'll be assigned a case manager who will walk you through the steps for loan closing and receiving your loan disbursements. The fastest way to receive your disaster recovery funds is to apply online at disasterloan.sba.gov. Applications are also accepted in person at a disaster center. You don't have to wait for disaster to happen. Prepare your business or home today by assessing your risk and developing a recovery plan to help make the process easier. Sign up for alerts from your local responders. To find out more about preparedness, visit www.sba.gov/prepare. The SBA is your partner in recovery. Find out what the SBA can do for you. We're powering the American dream by empowering you.
Couple of points made in that video that I'd like to touch on is first, we ask individuals to register with FEMA. FEMA, you know, is first on the ground here. They first stabilize the area after a disaster, and they will provide grants to people so they can get back up on their feet quickly. They are then referred to us at the SBA for our loan program. So I want to make that clear to everybody to first register with FEMA, and then they will refer them over to us to register with us. This can all be done at one of our business recovery centers. So we share space with FEMA so that can take place there pretty seamlessly. You work with one of our trained customer service reps and one of their trained customer service reps. And then, as it mentioned there with the URL, you can also register online. And as I mentioned, the long-term loan rates, again, they're 15 or 13 years, and the payments are based on your ability to repay. So again, we offer property damage again for businesses and homes. I want to make that distinction. We do help homeowners and renters. And then we do provide the economic injury loans for working capital needs for those businesses that are here in Griffin, and as well as in the surrounding communities, those contiguous counties that I mentioned, the 18 contiguous counties, they're eligible for economic injury loans. And the deadlines for each, the economic injury loans, deadline for that is October, and the deadline for property damage loans is March 10th to apply. These are the type of loans that I've already covered. Again, the interest rates are as low as 3.305% for businesses, 2.375% for nonprofits, and 2.33% for homeowners and renters. And I'll have material for everybody, fact sheets and overview information with all of this for everybody at the end of the presentation. Again, there's the deadlines that we talked about. We encourage everybody to get into a center and talk to someone before March 17th. To keep things moving, you don't encounter any delays. So 25%, clearly a quarter of businesses that experience a disaster don't reopen. And so again, we encourage anyone who's had any kind of damage, any questions that they have, any concerns, please do talk to us so that you're not one of that one quarter that's up there. One point here that I want to make is that our disaster loans are a critical source of economic stimulus in the communities, because again, we help spur employment and stabilize tax bases, which of course is very important here to get everybody back up and running as soon as we can. Only uncompensated losses are eligible. So if anyone applies for a loan and they've already got a settlement from the insurance or from any other sources, the loan won't cover that amount. But I also want to stress that we encourage everybody to register with insurance as soon as possible. So don't delay, get on both, and we'll work with you throughout that process. And then there's some other ineligibility there if you may have had a previous loan and was unable to pay it. But again, that'll all be talked out with your loan officer. So for eligibility, the property must be in a declared area. You must have good credit history, and we look at not credit score, but credit history. So we need that type of information. And then you must be able to show the ability to repay. And then once you get the loan, what's required is hazard insurance, and flood insurance also may be required. This is an overview of what was in the video, and also in a handout that I'll have for everybody. It's what we call our three-step process, where you'll be, all of your information will go in. You'll work with a loan officer and a caseworker. They'll work to get a decision to you within 2 to 3 weeks of receiving a complete application process. And I want to stress that a lot of times the application that comes into us is not fully complete, but we want you to work with us to make sure that we can get that to you. And then the loan closure and disbursement, our goal is to get up to you your first reimbursement within 5 business days, up to $25,000 for physical damage and up to $25,000 for economic injury. One point that I didn't make, the amounts that we offer for the physical damage are $2 million, as well as for the economic injury. The total combined for both cannot exceed the $2 million. And then for homeowners, property owners, we'll reimburse, we'll help you up to $200,000. And then renters up to $40,000 for the contents of the property. Homeowners or renters for $40,000 for contents. Again, the up to 30 years based on the ability to repay. We will help with relocation in some instances, and in some instances also refinancing is available for homeowners and businesses. We also encourage you to put in place measures to mitigate in case a tornado or a flood strikes again, reinforcing your structure, maybe a storm shelter, maybe raising the structure, cleaning your basement and things like that. So again, we want to encourage you to build back smarter and stronger now. We all know that the number of disasters are increasing, the number of weather events are increasing, so we encourage you to take the measures now so that you don't have to live through another, the results of another disaster again. And they can be as simple as, again, putting up bigger gutters, backup generator, things like that. And the mitigation can increase your loan up to 20% of the physical damages after we verify them. Again, there's some examples of that, and very simple equation there. For about $45 a month, you can cover $10,000 in the mitigation project. So again, it's a small amount for a big payout. That's a flow chart of the process, how it works. I had talked earlier about FEMA's other needs assistance. So again, we encourage everyone, of course, to apply with FEMA first, and then FEMA will refer you over to the SBA. If in fact someone is found ineligible with the SBA, they are then referred back to FEMA and they can get additional help to the forms of those other needs assistance. So in the lower half there, personal property, moving and storage, transportation assistance, and a group flood insurance policy, we will be able to help, FEMA will be able to help with that. So again, FEMA's a grant, we're providing the loans. Our loans come from the U.S. Treasury. You don't go through a bank. There's no application fee, and there's no obligation once you are awarded the loan. Filing deadlines, we talked about that. Make sure that your paperwork is in order, because that's the biggest reason for delay. If more funds are needed, a decision can be made down the line in that regard. And also, if in that event, as I mentioned, if your loan request is denied, you have up to 6 months for reconsideration. So we do want you to reconsider. We want to help everybody as best we can and as soon as we can. We also have a number of partners here in the area and around the country that we work with. If individuals have difficulty filling out their application, we encourage them to talk to someone at the SBDC. And these partners, of course, will help going down the line for alternative sources of revenue, how you can stay in business, help with any management and technical services. And then through that URL there, and again, I can provide that to everybody, you can find these, folks can find these partners for us. Registering with FEMA first, coming to see us. For more information, you can go to the web URL up there, www.sba.gov/disaster, or send an email to us at disastercustomerservice@sba.gov. Our customer service reps are available at 800-659-2955. If anybody was not able to apply online, if you call that number, they will mail you a paper application, so you can resubmit that as well. And we'd encourage any additional help in getting the word out. We love to make presentations to groups like this. Again, word of mouth is a very powerful tool that we can use to get the word out. So, we will be talking to mayors. We talk to emergency managers, chambers of commerce, businesses, homeowners, churches, a number of different civic groups. So if you can, offer any suggestions in that way, we'd be happy to follow up on them with our team. We have a very capable team here on the ground here in Griffin, and we do want to be able to reach out as soon as we can. And I appreciate everyone's time.
Thank you, Mr. Curso. Does the board have any questions or comments?
Can you go back to that slide I was looking for with all the numbers?
Oh.
Is it?
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay.
It's okay if you can't. I was looking for it on here, but,
The 800 number?
I can't see them, so I don't know.
okay. Sorry about that.
Oh,
One,
the phone numbers?
yes, the process, you said contact FEMA first, and then,
Oh, mhm.
you got that?
We have this presentation, I can email to all of you, so we don't have to try to go back and copy it again.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
On the relocation,
Mhm.
does the relocation got to be in the affected area? I mean, when they do relocate, do they have to relocate in this area, or do they relocate outside of it?
That's a very good question. Terrell, can you?
Hi, this is Terrell Perry.
Terrell Perry?
Welcome. Good morning.
Good afternoon, or good morning. They can relocate inside or outside of the area. Relocation just means like from across town or to another state even.
Really?
Yes. And the existing mortgage will be rolled into the new mortgage if they need assistance establishing themselves at the new location.
Are there any other questions or comments?
I do have a comment. It's not directed at you guys. It's pretty much, I guess, directed at our board and our staff. I was watching one slide and you put the words build better and stronger. With this tornado affecting our community the way that it did, I just hope that the support of the board and our staff, that we go back with something bigger, better, and stronger, that our community will not continue to be featured in 1950s Civil War era movies from the 1800s, that we get a chance to change some of our building standards to come back bigger, stronger, and with you guys are offering that, and I hope that that is the sentiment of the board to do the same, that we increase our standards and not allow people to come back and put that same things that were in our neighborhood that were not good. We got a chance now to reshape our community and make it look more presentable, make it better, make living conditions better for some of the people in our community. So that is my prayer, and I appreciate the presentation this morning. And I definitely have some people from the church and other civic organizations contacted you guys about coming out to do some more presentations, but I just wanted to piggyback off of that, just hoping that that is going to be our new aim from where we sit, is to try to make Griffin better, especially with housing, that we won't come back with slums, that we will be able to move forward with this in a positive manner, that something positive can come out of this. Thank you.
Thanks, of course. Anybody else?
To add on to that, you know, the structure will be stronger. It may have a storm shelter, you know, provide people an escape, you know, in the event, but very good point, Commissioner. Thank you for that.
Mr. Brock?
Yes, sir. In the slide, it showed the Veterans Administration. How do they play into this?
That's a Veterans Assistance Center, so that's like a small business. I'm not sure exactly.
The VBOC, Veterans Business
Outreach.
Outreach Center, thank you. It can be considered they usually are at a state facility or a state veterans outreach. The one over near the senior center could maybe be a veterans business outreach center, but generally they are at a state facility.
And how do they help along the way?
I'm sorry?
Do they obtain funds or?
They'll help businesses to either recreate their documents if they're totally lost, or help veterans become business people. You know, in terms of disaster, or let me back up. So with regular businesses, from businesses up, getting a business off the ground, they'll help from ground zero to getting the business off the ground and functional. In times of disaster, they'll help to recreate documents or help give the business owner resources to try to help them complete their application. And they will also provide technical resources to the business owner. Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Mr. Curso and Ms. Perry, thank you so much for coming to Griffin. You're part of our family. We welcome you and look forward to working with you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Mayor.
Mayor.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Commissioners.
Please don't hesitate to reach us. We're here to help. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And Ms. Michelle Rose, she may have had another meeting. Is she here by chance? Okay. Ms. Michelle Rose is our representative from FEMA that lives in Stockbridge. They'll be working directly with us. Also want to recognize Mr. Jason Ritter. He's in the back. He has been our partner and our quarterback and keeping us organized the last 12 days. And just want to thank you and recognize you for what you've done for our community between the Emergency Management Center and everything else. So thank you, Ms. Ritter. Okay, moving into citizens' comments. At this time, the mayor opens the floor to comments from the audience. Comments should relate to a specific agenda item not listed on the agenda for a public hearing or the concern within the jurisdiction of the city. Commission meetings serve the purpose of conducting city business and are not a forum for the unlimited expression of opinion. The mayor reserves the right to limit comments to matters germane to city business and may refer speakers to the city manager or other staff for resolution. That being said, is there anybody on my left side like to come before the board? Is there anybody on my right side like to come before the board? Moving into consent agenda, we need to pull item 5, but would like a motion to approve the consent agenda for item 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. We have a motion, Ms. Murray, to approve. We have a second. Second by Mr. McCord. Oh, I'm sorry. Ms. Ward, I'm sorry. I thought you.
That's right.
Thank you. Ms. Ward with the second. All in favor, please signify by raise your hand. 6-0. Item 5, Mr. Compton, we need to bring out for a vote. Consider emergency repair of stormwater department's jet vac unit 1112 by Environmental Product Group in the amount of $29,406.69, and the amend the budget accordingly. Ms. Murray with a motion. Second by Mr. Brock. All in favor, please signal by raise your hand. 6-0. Moving into the regular agenda. Item 9 is to declaring as surplus the attached list of property kept in the City of Griffin Police Department evidence room. Ms. Murray with a motion, second by Mr. Tinsley. All in favor, please signal by raise your hand. 6-0. Item 10 is consider a Griffin Sterling County Hospital Authority grant allocation for the year 2023 required by city and county approval. Could a motion to approve? Mr. Brock with a motion, Ms. Murray with a second. All in favor, please signal by raise your hand. 6-0. Item 11 is consider a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute the quick claim deed showing the city of Griffin, Georgia claims no interest in or claim upon parcel number 027-01024, commonly known as Emory Drive, uncut portion located on Emory Avenue. We have a motion to approve. Mr. Tinsley with a motion.
Second.
Second by Ms. Murray. Y'all said the same thing. All in favor, please signal by raise your hand. 6-0. Item 12 is consider adoption of the second supplemental emergency resolution related to the January 12, 2023 disaster event and supplementing the emergency declaration of a state of emergency resolution and supplement emergency resolution related to the aforementioned disaster event. Ms. Murray with motion. Second by Ms. Ward.
Mayor, if I can mention a few things to make sure
Yes,
they are
go
on
ahead.
the record and
Yes.
to give you a little bit of an update as to where we are. First, we are reaffirming everything that you all approved last week in regards to the declaration of the state of emergency. So we are continuing emergency procurement measures, registration of building and repair services, the waiver of the administrative fee for residential building permits, as well as any of the other additional emergency powers in section 44-2B. But we have also now asked to go ahead and enact the section 44-4F, which is temporary dwellings, to help with hopefully some assistance for those that have been displaced. Normally in the city of Griffin, we do not allow manufactured housing, trailers, or RVs for dwelling structures. But right now we are going to lift that so that if somebody does need to live in something of that nature, they can do so for the next 6 months. We can and they have to be working on a house in order to do that. So that is the sort of caveat that it needs to be because of the direct result of the damage caused by the disaster event and that they are in compliance with minimum code, and they can be issued a temporary CO. So we'll do that for 6 months. We can reevaluate after that time to see if we need to extend it. So that is the first thing. The second thing, just as we did during COVID, we are going to put a stay on the disconnection of utility services for now. Until we can figure out sort of what that looks like for everyone. I do think that in the update I'll provide you in just a second in regards to electricity, we are a little further along than we expected at this time last week, which is good news, but we do want to go ahead and put a stay on that. As we did with COVID, we're not waiving delinquent penalties at this time because we do still need to encourage people to pay their bills, but we are not going to disconnect for any reason right now, and we can certainly work with people in regards to payment plans or whatever we need to do on a case-by-case basis if they call into customer service. And then lastly, that's a little bit different, is the amendment to the broken pipe adjustment policy. As you all know, we do have a broken pipe policy that we will use for someone if they had some kind of damage, like a water main break or some kind of service line break. We are going to waive that can only happen once every 12 months because somebody may have had one at the beginning of last year. The storm came through, broke something else. We want to make sure we can give them that broken pipe credit again. So we're going to waive that 12-month period, but everything else in the broken pipe policy will remain in effect. So those are the things that we are asking you to adopt with the second supplemental resolution.
Yes, so where are the temporary dwellings? Is that own location or do we have a set area for those?
That's up to the private individual. It's not something that the city can offer. We're just saying you're allowed to do that if you have the means to do so.
Are there any other questions or comments?
One other thing I wanted
Yes,
to
ma'am.
mention, if you don't have any questions, is just where we are in regards to our electric services. We do still have some down services. We're still finding some broken poles. What they are doing is having crews go circuit by circuit to look through every single street, every single piece of equipment or piece of infrastructure that we have out there to make sure that we can repair what is left. So that's what some crews are doing. The other crews are just focusing on services that have passed their inspections from the electrician and are ready to be tapped back up. So we don't have an accurate number. We really can't give an accurate number as to how many's left that are still without power. We know that there are a few remaining. Some of that is because they can't be restored because they don't have a structure to be restored to anymore, unfortunately. But some of that is also because they need an electrician to come in and inspect, and then we can come back in and tap it up. We are talking to people, so as long as we have their correct phone number, they are being called to let them know what it is we need from them in order for us to finish what we need to do. But if somebody is still without power, I would suggest that they call our systems operations center so that they can figure out exactly what is needed on their end. So that in case we've missed somebody, we will know. Yes, sir.
27 municipalities that are here to assist us in restoring utilities. How much longer are they going to be needed?
Most of them are gone.
Are they? Okay.
We were able to send them home over the weekend.
We certainly appreciate their assistance.
Yes, I agree.
Any other? Okay, we had a motion from Ms. Murray, second by Ms. Ward to adopt the second supplemental emergency resolution. All in favor, please signal by raising your hand. 6-0. Thank you, Ms. O'Connor.
Thank you.
Item 13 is consider emergency resolution retroactively approving the emergency agreement for FEMA Public Assistance Professional Service with Goodwin Mills and Kaywood LLC. A motion to approve. Mr. Tinsley with a motion, second by Ms. Murray. All in favor, please signal by raising your hand. 6-0. And finally, item 14, consider cancellation of the City of Griffin Board of Commissioners regular meeting tonight, Tuesday, January 24 at 6 p.m. Do we have a motion to approve the cancellation? Ms. Ward with a motion, second by Ms. Murray. All in favor, please signal by raising your hand. 6-0. Moving into the city manager's report.
A couple other comments related to the storm. The Disaster Recovery Center is supposed to be open tomorrow for all of those that need FEMA assistance. It is supposed to run 8 to 6, 7 days a week, but that will be dependent upon how many people use it. So we really need to encourage people to go. It will be at the senior center. Small Business Administration, a lot of the things that you've heard about as far as benefits will be located all within the senior center. So it is supposed to be a one-stop shop. Mr. Brock, I'm not 100% sure about the veterans benefits, but we will find out if there's any additional information we can provide you to that one. And then also, we need to think about sort of normal operations. I have asked our directors to continue with their annual goals, keeping what they thought their annual goals were, but then also sort of looking at them and seeing what may have changed. So we are going to attempt our annual goals workshop on the 24th of February, hoping that you all can do your next workshop on February 28th as the annual goals workshop. But that is asking for a full day on the 28th instead of just our normal 9 to 10ish. So if you are amenable to that, we will go ahead and reserve our space and get that going again. Is that something everybody can do? Okay. All right. That's it for me at this point.
Thank you so much. Mr. Whalen.
I have nothing to add this morning.
Mr. Brock.
Keep up good work.
Mrs. Murray.
Continued gratitude from staff, crews, unbelievable, and continued prayers for our entire, even Griffin doesn't have a geographical location, we're all affected by this, and just continued prayers for everybody. I'm so proud just for everybody to be working together as you all have. Thank you.
Mrs. Ward.
Also, I would like to thank everybody, staff, citizens, and everybody that came in to help us. Everybody's done a tremendous job, and I'm grateful.
Thank you, Ms. Ward. Mr. McCord.
I just want to see us keep moving forward. Let this be we avoided no loss of life in Griffin and Sparta County. There was loss of life through the tornado. So just think our community was blessed. A real dear friend of mine, she was trapped in a home, and had it not been for the tornado, she wouldn't have known that she had some underlying medical conditions. So the storm actually worked miraculously to get this lady to a hospital in Atlanta. She wanted to go to a doctor in the box, but instead they took her to Northside Hospital. They found some other things going on that would have never happened had it not been for the storm. So when you look at these things and you think how bad our community is, Mayor said his first time going out Malloy Road, Campbelltown. When you see those houses that were destroyed, you must take note that there were people in those houses. One of them is to the ground, is no longer there. And within 45 seconds, those people were inside of that house, and the house left them, and they survived it. And not a scratch on them. This is just something to think about, that it can happen in an instant. That's why I just want to, as our community, as we've given this chance to rebuild, that we rebuild it to something we can be proud of, that we all can be proud of, in every part of our community, that we look almost uniform about, you can't tell the difference from the north side and the south side of town. So we got that opportunity. The city manager, the staff, everybody has worked so hard to bring our community together. Just all the churches, people who weren't affected have just been out in droves, people from out of town, sending in stuff, trying to help us build our community, keep people safe. And I just want to make sure that going forward, that is our goal, to come back better and stronger than we were before. So again, thank you to our fearless leader, our city manager, commissioners who participated, and especially all of our staff, and a special kudos to those other municipalities and some private people who came to our community to help us to restore it. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. McCord. Mr. Tinsley? Nothing to add. And I just want to again thank our staff, those that do the corporate America to the small business, you name it, people were stepping up for our community. As I mentioned last Monday at the Emergency Management Center, that it was Dr. King's, Monday was Dr. King's Day, and we were showing the dream and how we all work together. And I've just been very touched and overwhelmed with the love, the appreciation. Yesterday, two folks flew in from New Jersey for their church, and they want to provide refrigerators for the folks that lost their homes. So you've got so many folks that are so generous and loving, and it's all about one Griffin, one Spalding County. Just proud to have the opportunity to work with each of y'all. That being said, no meeting tonight. We have a motion to adjourn the meeting. Ms. Murray with the motion. We have a second by Mr. Tinsley. All in favor, please leave. Thank you.